New York talent uncovered, uncovering the undiscovered. Uncovered. New York talent undiscovered. New York Talent Uncovered introduces you to undiscovered talent, giving the talent a platform to express their art form while giving you the opportunity to meet them and enjoy their artistry. Hello, and welcome to New York Talent Uncovered. My name is Kelly, and I am your host. I am really excited about the show today, guys, and I am equally as excited about my guest. My guest is Mark Anthony West. Mark is an artist, painter, fashion designer, and a world traveler. Art is about capturing his truth. Mark says, for me, the act of creating art is about creating value for society and producing something that will outlive me. Mark is a travel photographer, a lyricist, and a director. Mark has been to 20 different countries, lived on 4 continents, and speaks several languages. I'd like to introduce you to my guest today, Mark Anthony West. Mark, thank you for coming by. Welcome to the show. And we just saw some of your picture, a slideshow, of your world travel. Can you tell me a little bit about your travel? Where have you been? What has it been like? And how has it influenced your paintings?
Well, I've been all over the place. I study in China at NYU Shanghai, so I lived there for 2 years. And then I studied for 6 months in Paris, and then another 6 months in Ghana. I cracked Ghana. And then I went back to China for another year.
Okay. And now you are living in New York City now. How has living in New York City inspired you in your painting?
It's really inspired me to definitely become an artist. I came here trying to find my way, trying all these different jobs, really doing what a lot of my classmates were doing, trying to get that good cubicle job, make that $60,000 right out of college, get the job with benefits. And I kept, trying to get all these jobs, and I kept getting fired. So I learned that I'm the worst employee in the world, or I need to start my own company, and I need to work for myself.
So is that what you're doing now with your paintings?
Yeah, with my paintings, Well, it started out with just me painting for fun, but in the last few months it's grown so much to a business, a lot with the help of New York City. You know, the people that I've met here really pushed me to keep pursuing something that I'm passionate about.
That's awesome. Now, how old were you when you started painting?
I might have been 10 or 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember that first piece?
Oh no, like they were just little pieces here and there around the house that I did. Nothing serious.
Okay. And how many pieces have you painted? And when did you actually start seriously painting?
Seriously, I started painting about 3 to 4 months ago. I just got hired by this new job and I put some of my art out in Union Square. The first weekend, I sold 2 paintings, made $200, happy. But the next weekend, I set my art out again. I sold 9 paintings.
Amazing.
And I made over $1,000 in like 4 or 5 hours.
That's
and
amazing.
Never made that kind of money in my life. And I wanted a way out, and I found my way out.
Okay.
And it was through painting.
Through painting. Now, I know that some of your pieces have a lot of blackface in them. Can you talk a little bit about what inspires you to paint in that context?
Sure. So let's talk about blackface a little bit.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So what exactly is blackface? Because that's something that I hear a lot when it comes to my art. Blackface, or a minstrel, is when a white person covers their body in black paint in order to portray black people in a demeaning way, to ridicule them. So there's 2 parts of it. First, the person has to be white, you know, looking like black person, and then it has to be ridiculing them. And my images, they're not white people. No. They're black people with black skin.
Yes.
Portrayed in all side of depictions. Most of them are uplifting. Some of them are just the human experience, just like I would portray any other person. So for me, with my art, it's about people getting comfortable with seeing black faces.
So I misquoted then. It's not really blackface, it's just that ebony hue, that beautiful darkness of the black skin that you paint in a lot. I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have said blackface then.
Well, no, the people do have black faces.
But they do, but they're not the typical black face as you described that, you know, I was thinking when I saw your paintings. They're just dark-skinned ebony hue of black people. Yeah, I think they're amazing. And I know you're going to tell us a little bit more about your paintings, at least 4 of your pieces that you brought to share with us in depth today. How long does it take to paint a piece?
It depends on how the painting comes to me. Sometimes I'll see the painting in my mind, I'll see it finished.
Okay.
So I can go home and I can finish that painting in 2-3 hours. But other paintings, they take longer. The ones that have a lot of detailing, I'll start and say, okay, I'll finish this painting in 10 hours. 30 hours later, the painting isn't finished. Some paintings have taken me 50 hours to
So what's
finish.
the least amount of time and what's the most amount of time it's taken to paint a piece?
For a large canvas, the shortest I can crank it down is 1 hour.
1 hour?
Yes, 1 hour.
Okay.
And it'll be a different type of painting. It'll be something that requires a lot of expression, me to move the paint really fast. And other paintings are not so expressive, but they have a lot of detail. They require you to slow down and look up close. And if people are looking up close, they're going to take a long time.
Okay. So your work is very impressive and expressive. Is it expressing something about, excuse me, yourself personally, or is it just what you see around you?
It's some of them are what I see around me. Some of them are influenced from my travels. Some of them are influenced by the history that I've studied in college from different cultures and different time periods. And I try to put myself in all the paintings. I try to imagine myself if I was the person there in the painting.
Are you the person in any of the paintings we're going to see today?
I'm the person in every painting.
Oh.
Even if it's a woman. I'm the person in all the paintings.
Explain that to me.
Well, the paintings, they come from me, and they come from a place that's deep inside of me. Sometimes I could be dreaming a scene and I see that scene, and maybe I was in that in a different life. Maybe it's from an ancestor, who knows where it comes from. Yeah. But I'm connected to each and every one of those pieces in order for it to come out, because it comes somewhere.
It does come from somewhere. Have you discovered yourself in your paintings, a person that you didn't know?
Well, from seeing the paintings when they're finished, looking back, I kind of think I'm a little bit crazy.
Okay.
Some of them.
Aren't we all?
Some of them, I think, you know, this came out of my brain. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're really expressive. I know we're flashing back and forth some of the pieces that the viewers are seeing now, and the titles of these paintings. I know that you brought 4 pieces that you want to talk a little bit more in depth about. So after this commercial break, paying homage to my sponsor, we will come back and we'll talk about those 4 pieces. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. So welcome back to New York Talent Uncovered. Again, today my guest is Mark Anthony West, and this is the really exciting part. Mark is going to tell us the story behind 4 of his pieces that he brought to share with us today. So I want to turn it over to Mark. Mark will tell us the name of that painting, and then he'll tell us the story about it, and we'll go from one painting to the next. Tell us about your first painting, Mark.
So the first painting is called American Crack. And
that's an interesting name.
Yeah. Well, American Crack is a depiction of the Statue of Liberty, represented as a black woman, and she's breastfeeding a white baby. And the painting is called American Crack for this reason. When you have a foundation, the crack exposes the weakness or the fault within the foundation.
Yes.
So when foreigners come to America, the first thing they see is the Statue of Liberty. It's this, here, welcome to this great place. That's this great country. But it's not so great when you look at all the cracks in their foundation. So to depict the Statue of Liberty as a black woman is to say that, yes, you're in America, but there's something wrong with it. Because when you think of the Statue of Liberty, she's a woman out there in the cold, always working. Yes. Doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's snowing, it could be hail. The Statue of Liberty is out there right now, still holding up the torch.
Yes.
So the painting it's really a statement piece, like here we are in America, and I'm putting the crack in the center of the canvas.
That's very deep, very profound. What inspired you to do it, though? What inspired you to paint it?
There was this French quote, ici on fait un feu de toute bois de toute façon. No, I think I said that wrong. Ici on fait un feu de toute bois et des chars. And
Translate?
What that means is, here we make fire from all wood and flesh. So I think of America like a machine that's working, that that needs energy to keep going.
Okay.
So when you say here, the fire that we're burning, we're using all the wood that we can find. We're opportunists. So that means we take from here, we take from there, we take from here. But the last part of the phrase is flesh. So not only do we use the wood, the things that are not humans, but we also use humans. We use flesh to build this system, again exposing the crack in the system. We can build the foundation, but there's still some things wrong with it. And even 100 years after slavery, there are still cracks
There are still cracks.
that are still there, especially with KKK and white nationalism. The fact that it's still an issue. These are American cracks.
They are American cracks, and I think they are cracks in a system as a whole, because people choose hate as opposed to love, and that would simplify things. Don't hate, love, don't judge. You know, give me an opportunity to show you who I am. I think that's very profound. On what is the next painting we're going to look at?
The next painting is called Lord Shiva and Ganapati. So it's my depiction of Lord Shiva and Ganapati. One of the Hindu gods is resting on him. And
is Ganapati the elephant in there?
Yes, also known as Ganesha. So Shiva is actually not a person in Hinduism. A lot of people in the West, we think that Shiva's like a god. However, Shiva is energy. Shiva is in everything. Shiva's in you and me. Shiva is our thoughts, our wishes, our desires. Everything in the universe is Shiva, and all the power from all the other Hindu gods come from Shiva.
So how did you decide to put Shiva in form? If Shiva is energy, where did that image come from in your mind?
Well, Shiva is always represented as a person. But if Shiva can be me or you, then anything that I draw is Shiva. I could draw a tree and call it Shiva, and it's Shiva, because Shiva is everything. So Shiva looks like me, a black man.
Okay. All right. Is that the way Shiva's been depicted, or is that what you choose to make Shiva look like?
That's how I choose to make Shiva look like. However, Shiva is energy, doesn't have a color.
Okay. And we all have energy. Yeah. You just translated it into what was in your mind.
Something that looks, you know, something I can relate with.
Something that you can relate to.
I don't think Shiva is a black person or a white person or just something with arms and legs. It's definitely more of a concept.
Okay. Well, you did a great job in depicting Shiva. I mean, it'll be imprinted in my mind, even though I didn't know anything about Lord Shiva. So thank you for sharing that with me. The next one is?
The next one is called Black Love.
Oh, that's nice.
So with Black Love, when I first saw this, I saw it as one person with two eyes and a mouth, and they had their arms stretched out reaching for something. But as the painting progressed, I saw two faces within the same face. And I made two faces out of the eyes. So if you look closely, it's two people within one person. So love, I think is totally self-sufficient. You don't need another person for love. But when half of your love is shared with another person, there's something almost a little bit dark about it. Because in the painting, the two people are joined by the hip, they're connected, whereas love is free in my mind.
So why is there this dichotomy about love being the painting joined at the hip, but you say in your mind love is free? So is it in Black Love, specifically you named this painting? Is there any reason that you named it Black Love as opposed to love?
I think love is often depicted with two people together. However, I think there's something a little bit dark about it, that this is how we always see love. Whereas I think human beings, we come here to give love. We don't need another person to share the love with. We can produce love on our own. A baby by itself can produce love. You don't need another person to attach yourself with. God made you complete. So I don't feel like you need another person, but oftentimes in relationships, you do feel like you need the other person in order to feel loved.
So here's a question for you. How do you classify your art? Is it abstract? Is it, how, if you had to, you don't have to, but if you had to, how would you classify it?
I would classify it as neo-expressionism.
Okay. Neo?
Yes.
Neo, okay.
Or contemporary abstract art.
Okay. And so your next piece is?
The last piece that I have is New Clothes.
Okay.
So New Clothes is actually based off the American Gothic painting, and where we have two people in the front, man and a woman, maybe they're a couple, and one is holding a pitchfork. And in this painting, I took that story of American Gothic and turned it into a slave rebellion, a successful slave rebellion.
What is the story of American Gothic?
The American Gothic is actually based off two Midwestern farmers, but the story is completely irrelevant from my story.
I gotcha.
In my story, the slaves, they break in the house of the master, they steal their clothing, they kill the master first, they steal the clothing, and now they're walking away free. So for some people, it could seem like, oh, there's murder in this painting, there's destruction, but on the other side of it, there's a painting of liberation, because now these slaves are walking into freedom, even though it was bloody for them to get there. And I called it New Clothes because it plays into the fact how once African Americans were free from slavery, our fashion and how we portray ourselves has been such a huge part of our identity. Slaves would never be depicted that way, wearing those nice clothing, wearing gold earrings. That's something that they want to show to the world, like, look, I'm free now. Okay. Look how nice I am dressed. And it's that even now in the Black community, there's such a reliance on the Nikes and the furs and the gold and just keeping up with the Joneses and keeping up with that image.
Okay. All right. So, Mark, thank you so much for sharing those paintings with us. You have some amazing art. You have some good stories behind your art. Very expressive, very impressive. I really enjoy that. What is the next step with the House of Mark West?
Well, right now I'm working on a charity. I'm trying to raise money for cancer research. I'm a cancer survivor myself.
Okay.
So I want to use my talent to raise money for cancer research. And what I'm asking for people to do is to go into my GoFundMe, help me.
Will you look into that camera and tell people what you're asking them to do?
So what I'm asking people to do is go to my Instagram, learn about me. You'll see the links to my GoFundMe. I'm trying to raise approximately $5,000 to cover the cost of a curator, for the event space, for a weekend in New York City. It's expensive. And cover the materials for the exhibition sometime in late spring, early June. So I'm asking for this money to help cover the cost of that. I plan to raise $500,000. 100% of the proceeds would be donated to the American Cancer Association and to the University of Maryland Children's Oncology Ward, where I had surgery when I was 9 years old, where I had cancer.
Well, that's an admirable cause. I have to thank you for that. How can people find you on Instagram?
They can just go to instagram.com/House of Mark West, or just look up House of Mark West, MARKWEST.
And making sure I understand, because I would like to support you. So I'll go to your Instagram page, and is there a link there?
Yeah, you'll see the link to my GoFundMe. You can click it. You can make any amount of donation. All the money is going to be used towards the exhibition. And then once we have the exhibition, all the proceeds will be donated to the American Cancer Association.
Well, that's a nice cause. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And I'm sure all of us will try and support you in this venture, because you're helping others, and that's very important. And congratulations for being a cancer survivor. So where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I plan on making House of Mark West a global household name. I want to help revitalize art and also help put Black art back into mainstream society. There are a lot of Black artists out there, but if you look at the amount of famous Black artists, the ones that we actually know, there's only probably Basquiat.
Okay.
You know, but when you look at all the white artists, there's a long list of them. I want people to see a famous Black artist everywhere, and just to just for representation. I've been all over the world. I've been and seen museums from each corner of it. You don't see that much Black art. And if art is something that can come from everyone, it should come from all types of people.
Well, I'm sure you will do that. And Mark, I have to say, I've been totally entertained by your art. I've been impressed by the conversation that we've had. I forgot one thing, Mark. What did you want to tell me?
I made you a gift, so I want you to take a piece of Mark West home with you.
Mark, thank you. Well, you know I love your art, and now I have a piece of Mark's art. Could you tell me about this?
So this one is called Talk to the Hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a man and a woman, and they love each other. And they're having a little argument, so she's saying, talk to my hand. That's why she's putting her hand in his face.
Let me see if I can get this in the camera.
So
there we go.
The woman right here is saying to the man, you talk to my hand. And the man is saying, well, if you put your hand on my face, I'll put my foot in your face. So he's giving her a little bit of sass right back.
Okay.
But they love each other.
We do. My husband and I do this. Did you know us before you came here today? Thank you, Mark, for the gift. I really appreciate it. I'll make sure I hang it somewhere special in my home. Thank you so much again. And Mark, I have to say, I've been totally entertained by your art. I've been impressed by the conversation that we've had. It's been a joy to have you here. Thanks for coming. I want to thank my viewers, and I want to ask that you join me next time on New York Talent Uncovered, where we give a platform to undiscovered talent and have them share their talent with you. Thank you for watching. My name is Kelly. Peace out.
New York Talent Uncovered. This is Mark West on New York Talent Uncovered. Okay.
On New York Talent.
Right you are. This has been Mark West and Kelly Somersaw with New York Talent Uncovered. Okay. This is Mark West and Kelly Somersaw. My name is Mark West. I'm here with Kelly Somersaw on New York Talent Uncovered.
Don't say my last name. Let's do it again.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Sure,
Hi,
okay.
my name is Uncovered.
Hello, my name is Mark. I'm here with Kelly on New York Talent Uncovered.
Great.
Excellent.
New York Talent Uncovered. Uncovering the undiscovered. Uncovered. New York Talent Undiscovered. New York Talent Uncovered introduces you to undiscovered talent, giving the talent a platform to express their art form while giving you the opportunity to meet them and enjoy their artistry.